All right, so like one way to think of this thing, we have to solve. Every culture has to solve the problem of getting males and females to get together and make babies. We don't call it that, but that's really what we're doing. So one strategy is where, okay, you have a group of friends, right? And then I have a group of friends that might overlap, right? So we have some overlapping group of friends, so we're in the same place all the time, that's you and I, and then we go off by ourselves. Would that be, so you're arguing that's the pattern now, versus here's your group of friends, here's my group of friends, we meet on Match.com or OkCupid or Plenty of Fish or missing anyone's eHarmony, Craigslist. I don't know where it is. Right, and then so there's nothing in common in your social groups. But when I meet you, I go, hey, would you like to go get coffee or whatever? So I guess the question can be is, which one is most common in your social worlds? Or is there a third possibility that you would like to see me draw circles? So which is going to be, for y'all, the more common strategy here of solving this problem? Let's go 3, 2, 1. So, basically 2/3 of you are dating people in your friendship groups, which is fine. This is a good strategy because you know them, you know their friends, and so that has pros. But what's the potential con? Yeah.
When they break up.
Yeah, if you break up, and it can create issues. That's what she's trying to get at, though. It's like, there are pros and cons of each one of these systems. There's pros and cons of dating lots and lots of people, right? But there's some cons in this system too, right? Like, I only know what you tell me about you, right? You say you blah blah blah. And I go, well, I don't know any of your friends. I don't see how you interact with them. That's a problem. But Bailey's going to keep coming back to this question here because Bailey wants us to think about it, because if you think about it, our current system of dating, you can correct me because I am old, seems to suggest that both genders, but especially males, need to mate with lots of people to find the one they're looking for. You're crinkling your nose, but so think about what males are encouraged to do. Why are males encouraged to try and sleep with many women? Get it out of their system.
I would argue to see if they're sexually compatible.
Okay, but wouldn't that be as equal a concern for females? Okay, so we can ask this question. So we can go, what is our culture does what? So let's, for the sake of discussion, we're not going to adopt the dictatorship of ovaries view. Our current view says both sexes have a sex drive, right? Everyone's got a sex drive. We're like Oprah. Everyone gets a sex drive. All right, but we say to females, what do we say to do with your sex drive?
Keep it low.
Keep it low.
Act like it's not there.
Keep it low. You think it's strong to say act like it's not there? I mean, I'm not a woman, so.
No, not that strong. I feel like it used to be, but I feel like that's getting to be more of an older trend.
But keep it low. Like, don't advertise, right? Don't advertise. All right.
Maybe don't pursue it as much.
So did you?
Or maybe not pursue is the
I feel
right
like
word.
females aren't allowed to pursue sexuality with males. I feel like
So you think males can say, I just want to, I'm not going to use slang language, my apologies, but anyway, I would like to sleep with that. That you think it's okay for a male to just say that, but if you said that.
I feel like it goes back to the whole, that especially males need to find mates that we're not allowed to pursue like they can.
You can't pursue, but you can't, don't pursue just sex. You think that is more there versus, but so y'all don't have anything to get out of your systems?
we do, we're just not
Yeah,
allowed
that's-
to.
So one of the things argued for males is get it out of your system. You know, right? I mean, but think about it. I mean, that presumes that there's a certain number of sleeping around that you believe males need to do, and if they get it out of their system before they meet you, once they meet you, you're bliss, right? But isn't that okay? But why not? So what? Do we encourage males to? I mean, this is y'all's dating groups. We encourage. What other reasons do we? What other sex differences do we impose on y'all?
But
Me think of,
I feel like men feel like they must be dominant and they must be the person to make it happen. Like if they want a female, I feel like we leave it up to them.
okay, males need to make it happen, right? But you don't. So if you're so.
That's their
If
responsibility.
you want to make it happen, you don't get to?
Commonly, no. I don't feel like I feel like if I liked him enough, I would just give more signs. Like, okay, now you can ask me out. Like, come on, here I am.
Wait,
Where-
are we talking about sex?
I'm just
Or-
talking about dating.
Just think about, dating, so like so y'all's dominant way of dating was y'all both part of the same group, but at some point, even if y'all part of the same group, you either have to go up to the guy and go,
Are you gonna ask me out?
That's exactly what happened.
it wasn't right now, but
I'm having quite a time now. I don't know.
so instead of asking, the way you did that was almost like I was gonna do it, and you're like, are you gonna ask me out?
I was like, oh, finally you asked me out.
So I mean, this is part of this question. So you think that females, instead of when you're in this position here, instead of going, hey, let's go do something, that you have to use a circumlocution, which is, are you going to ask me out?
It's usually like I have noticed this, like if a girl go up and say, hey, will you go out with me, she would lose her, the guy would start, he would go out, but I don't know how to put it in words,
Not
but
try as hard to get her attention or something like that?
yes,
So
it
you-
would be like, I'm not hard enough to get, like, that's what I think, like, that would,
The easy.
yeah,
It's the
She's
easy factor.
Okay, so if the female initiates, y'all think, it's y'all's word, not
that
mine.
would lose control, because guy likes to chase, like, they
Oh,
like
really?
hound.
Because before, guess who chased? So you're used to our system where we have the dating system. Remember, in the courting system,
But in the new, like, in this generation, I would say guys like to chase. I mean, if, for example,
what was
I was saying, why don't we just let a guy answer whether or not they like to actually chase after a girl?
here's what I don't ask you in a second. Here's what I don't get though. Like, why don't you like to chase? Because I see it as like we get to pick whoever we are interested in, and y'all sort of gotta play these games and give clues and leave flower petals, whatever the hell y'all do.
There's no reason because
it's
God's
easy for guys to
sexuality
go away.
is sacred. I'm saying there's no. Okay.
Okay, now I'll get you. Go ahead first.
I'm gonna say God's sexuality isn't considered as sacred. So it's like
So
there's
our
no need for
culture-
a woman to chase a
So-
man because it's not like you're getting anything.
So our culture says male sexuality is,
Not as sacred as female.
would you say cheap?
Yeah.
Or not sacred? There we are. Alright. So by this, do you think we think female sexuality is sacred? So sacred. This is awesome. Alright, do you think this is, you had your hand up?
I think our culture, like, in the past, it's always been, like, men asking women out. I don't know if it
But
was...
it hasn't always been that way. Remember, it hasn't always been that way. What was it 150 years ago? Females were doing the asking, so it hasn't always been that way. Right, but remember, it started to turn that way because what variable really, we had the moving into the cities, we needed a private place. Money, so money starts doing it. But what's happening now in our culture, the females are making more of the money, so here's the peculiarity I face. But y'all are holding on to this pursual issue. 1 and 2.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, I agree with what they're saying, all that, but I think if it comes down to a point where a girl is like openly saying, will you go out with me, or comes up to me personally, I don't see that. I see that as courageous, first of all. I admire that. But second of all, in the end, we're also, like, males are taught that, although it may seem like males are supposed to be dominant and chasing girls, in the end, the decision is with the female. So I think that's equally true with being in a relationship and also the sexual aspect of it. So the males can chase all they want to, but in the end, the decision is with the female.
We're not saying that she doesn't have the right to say no or whatever. I think what they're saying, I don't want to speak for women, but it's the males have the right to chase and the female can say yes or no, but the females can't chase like men can. Y'all seem to be arguing
It's not as acceptable.
they're arguing that if they chase, that if a woman were to chase like you chase, that she would be called various names. Would that be a fair way of?
Yeah.
Nothing flattering, no flattering names. That we see that as our culture defines chasing as whether it's if she's easy if she chases, or she must not be desirable if no one is going to chase her.
And see, I mean, from where I come from, New York City, living in the city, it's equal. I can say that. I lived there 20 years. I've seen women chase men, and it's typically it's very acceptable. So maybe that's something southern. I don't know.
We're definitely looking at cultural issues, but
it's a subculture, so it's subjective.
no, it's not that. Okay, saying that it's a culture that is subjective. There's no one right answer here. The whole point of this section is that different cultures are solving this problem of mate finding in different ways. Our culture has adopted some system. Now, the system used to be, if you were a female and you had sex before marriage, fallen woman, disgrace, go live in the slums because no one's going to want you anymore. Now, we say both males and females have sexuality. We let that happen. But we say to female, because this is what our culture is saying. You have a sex drive, women. Keep it low. Don't advertise it. Don't pursue just sex, right? Because we're saying that. I know you have your hand up. But we're also saying to males, we're socializing males to say, all right, males, go get it out of your system. The assumption being that males, but not females, have something to get out of their system. Right? And we further this mentality when we talk about marriage as getting a ball and a chain and those sorts of ideas. We basically say to males, oh, marriage is all about what you are losing in some ways versus what you would be gaining, which is a different way of thinking about it. But it's our culture doing that. So if New York City does differently, or Afghanistan, or England, or Germany, or South Africa, one of our questions is, why are we making this choice? Why are we choosing this strategy? What's the function of dating? Because this is what I find very, very perplexing. This idea of we have a sort of try before you buy mentality with relationships, right? Let's have sex, and then we'll see if we can have a relationship now. And I go, that is completely reversed from how cultures have done this for years. And this perplexes me. It really perplexes me. You're like second on my list.
Okay, I was gonna say, so lately on my Facebook, it's kind of funny because it happened right after class. There's this meme that's been popping up about this about sex, and it's like men. So a master key opens many locks, but a lock that allows many keys is useless. And it was like, this is a meme on Facebook. Has anybody else seen this yet? Okay, so it's like this whole, and it's like oddly enough, it's all on females' Facebooks. They're all like my girlfriends are like sharing the scene. So it's like this, like we know that like we're striving for like equality and like trying to, but it's still like this mentality of, oh, like you are going to be does not matter how you personally see it or how your group sees it. Once somebody else from another group finds out that you've done X, Y, and Z, like, you like fall to like the bottom of the totem pole, because then everybody in your community or everybody you go to school with, everybody that you would like socialize with, like you have like the opportunity to socialize with, sees you as like this person like with this reputation. And I think
So
that's,
you would say, so if we were to put this, because we gotta sort of go, how can we conceive of all of this, is if we're in this monopolistic competition and you have 5, 6, 7, whatever traits that you're advertising, one of the traits for females that they advertise, I'm not surprised that females do it to each other, because if low number of sex partners is one of the things that we say that matters, I am not surprised at all, because if it's monopolistic competition,